What's up, everybody? This is Freed Gaming, the channel where we are going to show you gaming, new gameplay, old gameplay, whatever you want. Anywho, I am coming to you now because I wanted to make a post. I'm playing some Days Gone, just got it, and I was having a thought, and I thought to myself, you know, in these zombie apocalypse survival games, they want you to believe a lot of crazy shit. So here, I'm going to try to get to 10 things that zombie apocalypse survival games expect you to believe about life after a zombie apocalypse starts. You know, and in reality, these things are not all that feasible. And starting with the first is that cars and automobiles are just infeasible. That unless you had a car that you personally had taken care of, that you're just not going to be able to salvage any other car in the zombie apocalypse. Guys, I don't think that just because it's a zombie apocalypse means that everybody's car is just going to be busted. That just default every car is busted or doesn't work. I don't believe that. Cars are designed to be fixed. They're designed to be, worked on. So it doesn't matter how you look at it. Yes, you could say that the battery's drained, or you could say that maybe some of the components need to be replaced. However, it's completely unrealistic to think that just because it's a zombie apocalypse that you can't salvage any of the cars that you see that are sitting by the road or crashed. I don't believe that. I don't think anyone else should when you stop and really look at it. So definitely would not treat all these broken down cars like they're just lost causes. I mean, and I'm sure that a lot of them are, because cars are expensive and they require a lot of care, and a lot of different components go into making a car work. But that, again, there have to be a good proportion of cars that you can salvage, that you can do something with in order to go ahead and survive with the car. Okay. Number two, these games developers want you to believe with all your heart and soul that almost everyone is gonna become an enemy or a violent person just because you suddenly have to survive against this enemy. In reality, guys, your friends, your family, anybody that's left are going to instinctively want to work together to survive. If anything, it's going to make your relationships that much closer. And rarely do the games actually touch on this fact. A lot of times they focus on ways that people might fight or how different factions might hate each other. But the fact of the matter is, guys, you're going to want to stick with your family, with your friends. You're going to want to have somebody that you could trust in order to survive. Okay, so just don't believe that hype. That's total BS. Another thing that zombie apocalypse survival games want you to believe is that melee weapons are just going to be the most breakable things you've ever seen. That somehow, just because it's an apocalypse, that axe that you're using is only gonna take 10 or 15 hits of damage, or 3 or 4 real battles before it just ups and breaks on you. And this is just malarkey. Okay, a lot of these instruments, yes, back in the day when they were first being created, they could be sensitive or they could be low quality, but the fact of the matter is, guys, is that a lot of these weapons and items that you can use in the modern world have been refined and made to last and made to be reinforced. For example, it is more common nowadays to find yourself an axe that is made out of plastic or some sort of fiber or even metal than you might believe. So if you do happen to find some of these plastic axes, they're not going to break. They're not going to break the way that a wooden axe might break. It's not going to happen. It's just not realistic. It's not realistic to expect that that's gonna happen. What's another thing that zombie apocalypse survival games expect you to believe is that, you know, these what is it? What's another thing they expect you to believe? Well, for one, they don't focus enough on farming, okay? And they make it seem like you're gonna have to spend your whole life questing out to get food and produce. Listen, guys, once you have a sufficient survivor base, like you often see in these survival games, you will be able to farm, and you can build your own agriculture based off of what kinds of foods can grow in your backyard or whatever the case may be. And that alone is going to give you an advantage when trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse. Okay, food is not going to be that scarce because as there are less people on the planet to feed, the survivors are going to figure out, hey, to feed 30 or 60. And once they figure that out, the rest is math. Do the math. If you have 60 people and you need to feed them every day of the week and eat 3 meals a day, you could easily just instinctively find out how much you need in order to feed everybody, and how many seeds, how many things you need to grow, or what animals you need to trap, or whatever it is. People have been doing it in the country for decades.
Out here there ain't nothing but murderers and drifters and raiders.
What are you guys doing out here to this poor guy?
Saw some.
I think they killed the guy I was trying to save. They definitely killed the guy I was trying to save.
Okay.
Which is just unfortunate. I probably should have handled that better, guys. Anyway, here we go. Another thing that zombie apocalypse survival games expect you to believe is that when you find weapons, let's say you come across weapons, and you already have enough of that weapon, so you are going to tell yourself that, oh, I'm not going to pick up that gun because I already have one, or I'm just going to take the ammo. This is complete malarkey. Okay, in real life, obviously you're going to want to pick up that weapon. You're going to want to take it, give it to somebody, sell it to somebody, trade it to someone, or just have it as a backup in case yours breaks or you lose it, or whatever the case may be. Okay, I really wish that games would incorporate this into their planning, to where when you go ahead and kill an enemy and take their weapon, that you collect it, trade it, whatever. Some games do this. I believe Resident Evil allows you to do this, even though you don't get to pick up any other weapons besides what you need. So there's no reason for you to be selling your weapon at any point in the game. But I would love to see a game like Days Gone, where you just pick up these extra weapons, you sell them to people, or trade them for credits, as you have in this game. We have a system where the different credits contribute to your overall progress in each survivor base. So that's another thing that obviously video games want you to believe. About the apocalypse and life after the apocalypse starts. They have these clothing that is not reinforced at all whatsoever, and we're expected to believe that there's not going to be some sort of, you know, armor set that you make to prevent yourself from getting bit and getting infected by zombies. And this is absolute malarkey. One of the main priorities of a survivor would in turn be to develop these arm pads, you know, armor to prevent yourself from getting infected, getting bit, getting scratched, etc., you know, and everything like that. And I really hope that video games would start incorporating these different kinds of, you know, armor sets into the game to make it more realistic and to keep it within the realm of possibility. Also to just add a level of creativity to it, you know, just to add that extra layer of depth. Go back to this here. One of the other things that zombie apocalypse survival games expect you to believe is that somehow all of the medicine in the world is just going to be gone after the apocalypse starts. So if you don't already have a supply, you're going to have to venture out to some ungodly, you know, horrible place, God knows where, to kill God knows what in order to retrieve some medicine. Guys, there's so many pharmaceuticals in this world. There's so many different sources of medicine, and I bet every household where zombies have gone and taken over, yes, they will get scavenged, but there is no way that any faction could scavenge out an entire city's worth of medicine cabinets within any reasonable amount of time. So it would take months, if not years, for people to drain the city of its medical resources. Okay. That's including if they go straight to the hospital. I don't care how you look at it.
Bitch, you better start.
There's going to be,
Gotta find some gas.
there's going to be some medicine somewhere. There's going to be some medicine somewhere. One of the things to counter this is the expectation that the gasoline, that a lot of people think that as soon as gasoline starts to, you know, age over time, that you're not going to be able to go ahead and use that gasoline because it's going to degrade and it's not going to ignite and it's going to fall apart. Guys, there are several things that you can do, in fact, that can allow you to preserve gasoline. So obviously one of the first things that's going to happen,
Damn it. That's gonna bring them all down on me.
one of the first things that's going to happen
Speakers. Where the hell are the speakers?
is that people are going to preserve gasoline once they realize that it can in fact expire. Okay, you could do this by rubbing alcohol to gasoline. You can go to Walmart, you could go to Target, you can go to an automobile shop and buy gas enhancements that increase the potency of the gasoline, and this in turn will preserve the gasoline. You could preserve the gasoline in anything that has a closed container. Okay.
What's this? Nero tank. Some sort of a injector of some kind. Ow. It's stronger already.
Okay.
Are you gonna just get ready to blow up? Got about a few minutes ago. It's a waste of time. Hundreds of infected people are swarming up the highway out of Farewell.
What's another thing?
Checkpoints are all on the run.
Oh jeez. This is not bode well.
You should have bugged out with your friends. Welcome to my world, you stupid son of a bitch.
Okay. I don't even know what number we're on, so I'm just gonna keep going. What's another?
Speakers. Where the hell are the speakers?
Ow.
Boozer, you there? Boozer, goddammit, answer me. He's not picking up. Where the hell is he?
Okay. Let's see. What's another? Oh, ammunition. One of the common things that a lot of zombie apocalypse games try to get you to believe is that as soon as this apocalypse starts, ammunition is going to become super scarce. People are going to raid all of the...
Not too smart without the traffic.
They're going to raid all of the weapons places. Be able to completely, and that's fine, but it goes to show that you can make use of